they come in here today and beat Quinnipiac. So I'm really curious to see how this one plays out.
Quinnipiac coming into this being 6-1 within the split so far within conference play. So a team that has dominated competition has then itself been thrown out of the bracket. So Niagara on a hot streak, and you can see what teams do when they are on a hot streak. And it can be a dangerous thing to be sure. So without further ado, we're going to try to throw these players into this game with a shout out to Hercules Tires, Tropicana, Ready Nutrition, and Geico for providing this great event. And we're going to keep it going with hopefully fantastic semifinals here to decide who's going on against Marist. We're going to have Soccer Scout and Burning Plays kicking us off here in game one.
Should be a good one. Niagara in purple, Fairfield in red, Elysium with the quick shot off the start. And you have to wonder.
It's certainly a tough one coming in on that near post. Matter. Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like Niagara just a little bit too slow off the kickoff there. I'm selectively losing Soy, not to cut off his point, because I'm sure he's making a fantastic point about Niagara off to a little bit of a slow start, or rather, Fairfield relatively fast going through it.
You were right. I mean, Elysium there off to a hot start. And that's going to be kind of the question is, can Niagara's defense hold on and give themselves a shot later in the game against the Fairfield Stags? I mean, we've seen Fairfield before. Their offense has had some pop-off moments in the past, and Matter here able to score again.
And right here, Austin, unfortunately, just trying to slow the ball down, but instead it gets deflected. Always tough when you're coming in from a sharp angle and you're trying to hit that cleaner 50. Sometimes it goes exactly where you don't want it to be. And now Niagara early on down by 2. This is certainly going to be a test. They did a fantastic feat beating Quinnipiac in the previous round, but this is the semifinals. This is where things really start to ramp up.
We'll see here as Elysium now with a little bit more possession, losing that challenge to Burning Plays, but Matter up for it on the air dribble over top of the defense and make it 3-0.
There's another great touch by Matter. First time is off the backboard, and this time he just creates it himself, chips it, and then goes for an air dribble. I think he might have been going for a dunk on that play, but none was required, and that nice aerial play leading to some nice offensive domination from this Fairfield squad. And Niagara looking a little bit shell-shocked. They still got 4 more minutes in this game, but certainly not the start they'd hoped for after that last series.
We'll have to see if they can respond. Again, plenty of time, as you mentioned, but quickly they are on offense. Pass the Schnitzel, drop down. Pass across Elysium on the counterattack. They catch the defense out once again.
And certainly unfortunate, we have yet another touch that just doesn't quite connect on the midfield, and unfortunately Elysium going to turn that right around, and this is just a snowball of chances coming through for Fairfield. Once one goes, seems like all of them are going.
Yeah, right now Fairfield, their offense is clicking, and you have to wonder after the 2 games that Fairfield have played, you know, they have looked fantastic. If just they've kind of heated up as this tournament has gone on, playing, I believe, nearly perfect Rocket League. I don't believe they've dropped a game so far, and maybe another one here as Matter picks up the rebound and walks it in.
And right here, just a great backboard defense, but again, just aerial plays coming through and getting fantastic pressure. And right now, Matter just far too quick for the ball. And the Purple Eagles, it's at this point, you're not necessarily trying to toss some water from the ship. The ship is sinking. You need to figure out a way to remedy this defensive situation and quickly.
You have to wonder, too, because it feels like these chances just keep coming. And there's players in position, but just too far away are they in order to make a play. Fairfield doing a fantastic job of using the space given to them. So what is the kind of counterplay, I guess, for the Purple Eagles here?
Sure that you're not getting too aggressive upfield. Fairfield's too fast of a team to be able to simply rely on the counterattack. I think you need to start consolidating that back line, and once you can, then you're actually able to touch the ball into actual constructive ways. So unfortunately, right now they seem to be struggling, and it doesn't seem to be a matter necessarily of skill. It's really just they're struggling to get the ball out consistently, whereas Fairfield, they're more than content to just slap that on the backboard and chase it down. And as long as that's working, there's no real reason for them to stop with that strategy.
You and I were on call last week talking about how dangerous some of these teams can be in transition. And Niagara, it just feels like they've struggled to get the ball out past the midline. Fairfield always having at least one player back and able to get a read on the ball and find a challenge and just maintain this time of possession in the purple half.
Yeah, but right now, this game is really just a formality at this point at Fairfield and really just an exercise in futility for Niagara. They have only 2 shots on target, but right now, I think they really obviously have to look towards game number 2, but this is a Fairfield squad being putting everyone on notice. They've gotten to the semifinals for a reason, and they're looking to show it. And beyond that, they're looking to stamp that ticket into the grand finals. But what a display so far. And if I'm Niagara, I have to think, how are we going to shut down Matter? But to be honest, anyone is capable of popping off number 2 there for Elysium for 6.
The double tap 2 beating past the Schnitzel, and then Oz can't find the read off the backboard to make it 6-0, a statement game here in game 1. And we still got a minute and a half, or I guess a minute 23 left.
And certainly so. This is it's at this point, I'm really curious to see if Niagara can get something back in there, something to take home with them for game number 2, and that's a good way to do it. Off the dunk past the Schnitzel, we'll be able to get to it just before the Fairfield defender. Although it might just be for a little bit of morale boost, that goes a long way when you're just at the start of a series. You do not want to start feeling particularly downtrodden. It's one thing to match teams in terms of skill. It's a whole nother thing to match them in terms of that positive mentality.
And that's one of the players, too, to watch out for as this series goes on. Ost for Niagara throughout the year has been very consistent and has found ways to get these awkward challenges and set up his teammates. So look for him to have a lot of success if the Purple Eagles are going to be able to fight back in this one. But with a minute left, we'll see if there's anything remaining in the tank here. As Matter's up for this one, but he's not going to be able to find it. The drop down will find its way in, though. Soccer Scouts on the board. Put up a Brazil for the Stags.
It's a great way to start a series, but at the end of the day, I'm seeing a lot of contact from Fairfield on these balls that is solid, and it doesn't have to be placed well. It just has to be on target. And right now, if Niagara's defense isn't up to the task, this is kind of what you see. A lot of teams in EGF throughout the series, both in MAAC and without, or outside of that conference, they struggle with being able to consistently hit it, these shots with conviction, as we just saw Niagara not quite getting the power they're looking for, and that chance will go awry, but finally, like you mentioned, Ost, almost talisman for the Purple Eagles, will put a second in.
And this all starts, too, because of the pressure. That bounce and just no one ready for it on the defense. Ost quick to the play, finds the top corner to make it 7-2. And with that, it is a 5-goal differential still, but at least these goals are picking up some momentum, because the way this game started, it was all Fairfield.
Yeah, and in the final 15 seconds, it doesn't do much to really dwell on the result at this point. We're really looking forward to game number 2, and Fairfield showing off why, as we mentioned, they are at this state, and they're looking to continue it. Final seconds ticking down, and Purple Eagles gonna have to go back to that drawing board and figure out how to stop such a red-hot team.
Matter with 4 goals gets the MVP in a 7-2 Game 1 victory, and at the end of the day, Fairfield just got off to such a hot start that Niagara never had the real opportunity to battle back. Every single player on Fairfield, especially Matter and Elysium, were just all over the offensive, front for the Stags.
Yeah, the speed at which Fairfield was hitting balls in the air is really what I was noticing the most, is that Niagara was doing very well against Quinnipiac on being able to crash the goal, punish mistakes, but that also relied on Quinnipiac just having a little bit more hesitation in the air. That hesitation is not present here with Fairfield. They are getting on every single ball, and more importantly, they're consistently hitting it with power on net, which is forcing Niagara to make saves, at which point, coming on into this game 1, they're really not making. So heading into game number 2, I'm very curious to see what Niagara has to do with adjustments. They've all readied up immediately, so they're rearing to get into this next game, but It's going to have to take quite the adjustment and a little bit of tinkering on the back line to see a change around here, because Fairfield does not look like a team that's ready to slow down.
I mean, we talked about how difficult Niagara's schedule has been in the past. If you look at Fairfield, they have had, I mean, they've found most of their success in MAAC conference play. Last time they played Niagara, it was a 3-0 sweep, and it was way back, and I believe week number 3. But Fairfield, even out of conference, they have had a lot of success. They pushed Butler to a Game 5 series. They won in Game 5 against Wichita State, who we've seen have pop-off moments. So Fairfield is no slouch in their own right, and they have had themselves a fantastic season so far. We'll see if that continues here through Game 2 or not, as this ball in the red half, and Pasha Schnitzel trying to apply some pressure here. Burning plays, winning another challenge. Can't find a second touch, though. Now Oss trying to buy some time, but Matter quick to the play. And this ball will be left in the purple corner. Soccer Scout centering. No one going to find a touch on it, so Matter's going to be able to possibly challenge Burning plays here, but the dunk over top. No boost left in the tank, and Fairfield will punch that one back into the purple zone.
Oss not dealing with it particularly well. Elysium high lob into the middle, but this time Fairfield is waiting for the ball to creep out to commit to it, but it does still go onto that purple backboard. Burning plays, struggling to touch it, and this is what I'm worried about from Niagara, that transition play. They're not getting the contact, and it sets up Matter for shots like that, and Elysium for a rebound like that. 1-0 off a banger.
Cleaning up the play, Soccer Scout sets it up, and Matter's shot might be off, but no one ready for the rebound. Elysium strikes first for the Fairfield Stags, and a 1-0 lead. Niagara once again on the back foot here, but plenty of time again to respond, and even off of kickoff, we've seen them get throughout this series and throughout their playoff run here, a couple of kickoff goals, but not able to do so there.
And kind of a tough bouncer there. They let it bounce out, and now another rebound comes in. Matter doesn't put that one in. Schnitzel trying to go up, but Soccer Scout is going to tap it first. Another roller into the middle. Elysium going up uncontested off of the bar. Matter off of the bar again. Almost a second goal coming in from Fairfield. The woodwork, though, their worst enemy.
So close to finding the back of the net, and the Purple Eagles defense not ready for it, but it remains just a 1-goal game. Pasha Schnitzel with a deep clear there, but Elysium stopping that one at midfield. Now the challenge goes off the backboard. Schnitzel up for it, whiffs on one. Oss not going to find it. This could be a breakaway the other way. Flicks it over top of Burning plays, and into the net is Soccer Scout. 2-0 Fairfield.
And Soccer Scout in such a tough position. When Soccer Scout is dribbling this out, Burning plays, has to make a decision. Soccer Scout knows that, opts for the quick little lob, which when played aggressively is a great way to get past the defender. Burning plays just not quite able to leap in time. So great job by Fairfield, and really shows to that striker mentality that they have shown so far. If not for the woodwork, this is a very large score line. The passes just keep coming out. This time, no solid contact. But Niagara, they have been working that backboard a little bit more than they were in game 1, but still no results just yet. So curious to see if they're going to keep going back to that strategy, or if they'll look for a little bit of a tighter interplay.
And it certainly feels like when Niagara has possession, their chances are quality. They've got good opportunities to shoot, but just the defense is there, or someone is able to make a play, as there. Elysium nearly sneaking that one into the corner, but the save is made, and this Purple Eagles defense hanging on for now. Oss centering that one wide of the net, though. And now up the wall, back to mid, and
Ooh.
Oss is there. He found a touch on it, but Matter makes the save, and now back to the red corner. Schnitzel centering, plays is there, missed it. All on the shot, save is made by Elysium. The rebound picked wide, and Matter is there to fork it away off the wall here, off the ceiling possibly, but no. Rebound sent wide, and Soccer Scout continuing the press here. Missing this touch, and past the Schnitzel, trying to buy some time, but the Fairfield offense, it feels like a forecheck in hockey. They are just swarming to the ball.
Yeah, certainly so. And it makes it so tough for the defense to get set, get some boost, and recover. And it shows as more shots coming in, even right as Niagara's trying to break out. But Fairfield, they will not leave that backboard alone, and for good reason. They're finding some good results. Elysium to the back post. Great placement for 3.
You said the placement on this shot was perfect. The Soccer Scout wins the challenge, and Elysium up so fast to it once again, burning plays. I don't believe he had a whole lot of boost left in the tank and just was not ready for that angle. And with just over a minute remaining, Fairfield find themselves up 3-0.
And they're looking for that sweep, and this is a great way to go forward with that, taking a second game straight. And Niagara, I do feel like the improvement is there, though. Obviously, the scoreline as of right now is not that radical, but they've been able to get more and more shots, at least near the goal. It's making Fairfield have to work on defense, which is exactly what you want to see, even though not quite on target, as we just saw from Ost, just tucking that right into that near post and out. But so far, I am positive. I will say net positive on Niagara, even as they gave up the 4th. I think this is something to build off of, but as of right now, Fairfield's still a little bit too strong.
The Fairfield, they are finding these challenges, just the angles that they are finding off these challenges are just a slight, frame ahead of where Niagara are, and it's allowing them to continue this pressure. And that's going to be a kickoff goal as Soccer Scout makes it 5-0. I was saying, look at how fast they are to the ball, and just a misflip there on kickoff allows this one to go in. But I think these 50-50s are a huge point of emphasis. Fairfield just seem to be winning them, 9 out of 10 times.
And just in the way that Rocket League tends to label that encounter in this esport, a 50-50, it implies that both people have a shot at it. But the issue is that assumes that both of them are taking it at a good angle. Niagara is not getting the touches that they need. It's very much so like those 90-10s, like the fire burner of old. And when Fairfield keeps winning these 50s, it's very tough to stay somewhat stalwart on defense when you're constantly trying to chase things down. And they're going to pay the price, though. Game number 2 going to Fairfield late in the game. That lead started to get a little bit wide.
Yeah, especially late in the game, Fairfield found some goals to really seal the deal. Soccer Scout with the hat trick, and he was on the bottom of the scoreboard for Fairfield last time, but I think that shows how much depth there is in this Fairfield roster, too. Just across the board, all 3 of these players have their opportunities to kind of pop off at any moment. Whereas Niagara, it feels like Ost has been their go-to guy in moments like this, but he can't carry the team all by himself. If Niagara's going to find a way to come back in this one, I'm looking at Pass to the Schnitzel, especially him to kind of help Ost get some space to create some offense.
Yeah, when you have a team that is reliant on one player, or rather a lot of their offense goes through one player, when that player struggles, you need other players to step up. And whereas Niagara showed in last series that Ost can still lead the charge, but the other players can still help out, that's what they need to get back to. And right now, I think Niagara, if they start to consolidate, start to play a little bit smarter, that's the way back into this series. It can't be reliant on one player. Everyone needs to step up because one player can only cover so much space. So heading into game number 3, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Pass Schnitzel. I'm looking for burning plays to get some solid contact, play a little bit more reserved, wait for Fairfield. And at this point, I think if you can't slow down the offense, you just have to try to take the punches and take the counters when they come.
Niagara has had their chances, a handful of shots in both games 1 and 2, but now they are on their tournament life here in the MAAC. They need to find a way to reverse sweep the number 2 seed. Do they have it in them? Well, let's find out as this one punched into the purple half. Oz has to buy some time here. Matter off the wall, dropping this one down mid, over top of 1 on the goal line. It's tucked in by Elysium. How did this one find its way through?
Matter just getting just enough of a touch into Elysium, and unfortunately burning plays might have had a touch, but we'll never know. Ost just focused on getting that save out, rushing over, and unfortunately dunking his teammate 20 seconds just about into this first game. And we're right back to a pattern where Fairfield just jumping out just based off sheer speed.
Striking first has been important throughout the MAAC tournament. But here, another chance for Fairfield. That one sent wide. Pass to Schnitzel got bumped off that play, so Ost, once again, trying to buy some time here. Centering this one demoed for his efforts. Off the hood of plays, and Soccer Scout kind of waiting for this one to recenter it. Many players up, but they both whiff, and Plays has to be the player to get this one out, forcing Matter to make a save. Pass the Schnitzel. Across, looking for Ost, has an angle, dropped it back to the corner. No one there to respond to it, and Fairfield unable to clear the zone here. Burning Plays once again. Punching this one back in, now off the back wall. Plays. Can't find a touch on this one. Austin in an awkward spot. Makes the save. Matter rushes over. Can't find a great pass and is demoed here. So Pasha Schnitzel now with a little bit of time, but not a whole lot of boost. Gets this one mid for Ost, who sends it to the sideboards. And it feels like there hasn't been a whole lot of great opportunity. And the one chance Niagara really had, they couldn't find a way to put it on net.
Yeah, and this is really the common issue, is that when you're playing against a team like Fairfield and Niagara is struggling to get shots, the shots you do get need to be quality. And sometimes I feel like the issue not necessarily is that they're not shooting the ball more, it's just that they're trying to rush some shots. That shot from Ost, for example, was kind of a low shot, shin height, it feels like, right at the defense. Not going to be that tough of a clear. I'd like them to work it through each other a little bit, or at the very least, make them go on the backboard. Make them have to hit that to the corner, try to get some boost steals, exit bumps, anything. Because right now, Fairfield is just way too fast to the ball, and you need to make them uncomfortable. And as we reach halftime, this is the closest score margin we've seen every game. Niagara's gotten a little bit better, but they still need to improve. Because, again, at halftime, they only have half a game to not only take a win, but then just to kickstart a comeback attempt and try and galvanize a reverse sweep, which is a tall order, really, for any team in any situation.
Only a 1-goal differential. This has been a long time for them to keep it at this short of a difference. Ost is able to find a touch here, but Elysium ready for it. Now pass to Schnitzel. Trying to find this one to the sideboards to Ost. Now Schnitzel unable to follow this one up. No boost in the tank. Drop down for Elysium, but no luck there. Can he find another touch? Yes, he can. Ost is there, but the rebound will be punched in once again. Soccer Scout makes it 2-0.
There's the psychological aspect of high pressure that I think gets to some players. Ost actually could have caught that, might have played it slow, but instead tries to get the clear. They feel like they need to get that out, and it just results in a light tap in the middle, and stuff like that always going to get put away by a hot Fairfield offense. Now 2 minutes remaining, but the task just got twice as hard for the Purple Eagles. Can you get something on the board and give yourself some hope?
Save here by Ost, and he'll be able to pick up the corner boost. Maybe some possession here if he can win this challenge. Does win it across one. Can he dunk Matter? No, Matter cleanly plays that one to the sideboards, and now it will be redirected back to the red wall. Ost dropping that one back down center, but pass to Schnitzel was too far forward. This will be a clear, and Burning Plays actually sent that one mid, and Soccer Scout's gonna find another, make it 3-0 Fairfield.
Talking about quality of contact, this is as quality as contact as you're going to see. The air roll adjustment to absolutely nail that one with the front bumper. That's textbook from Soccer Scout, and really this is just textbook offense rather, from Fairfield, just putting in everything that comes their way. And even off the kickoff, Niagara not getting a break. They can't get that one to go. That definitely would have helped out the morale going down the stretch of potentially the last game in this series.
And it almost feels like a Murphy's Law type of game. Everything for Niagara that could have gone wrong has. They've had opportunities like this from Austin. He still can't find the net, off the backboard and out. And Fairfield keep the scoreboard clean, keep that goose egg on the board for the Purple Eagles with a minute remaining here in regulation.
Now, this is really what separates good teams from great teams. How do you deal with this pressure? And so Fairfield, they just have to hold on, but Niagara trying to stamp any lifeline into this series will have to put chances like that away. That's a miss. That one's going to hurt. On the follow-up, Ost is up. Not enough boost to reach it, and another clear is going to go out. And they've definitely had more opportunities down the stretch, but ultimately, they're just not finished off. But can't say the same for Fairfield.
Fairfield here win one more challenge around the defender. Pasha Schnitzel just trying to play aggressive, trying to give his team a chance, and Matter is in the right place at the right time to make it 4-0 with 26 seconds remaining. And with that goal, it feels like Fairfield have just punched their ticket to the championship round, but 20 seconds left. And still on the offense as this one's going to find its way in. Matter makes it 5-0, and that feels like the dagger.
And it's almost like an ideology coming out of the German national team for international soccer. There is no mercy. You don't take your foot off the gas. You play just as hard from the opening to the close of every game. And as you see, 4-0 scoreline with less than 20 seconds remaining, and Fairfield still looking to add some goals. And this is a mentality that I'm very curious to see how it will play out against really the behemoth, the Goliath of the MAAC Conference, coming into that grand final, Marist, which Fairfield has just stamped their ticket to that match. So good games by Niagara, but just really lights out offense and defense coming out from Fairfield.
The miracle run for the Purple Eagles may be over, but they had a fantastic run while it lasted. But it is, at the end of the day, the Fairfield Stags who have booked their ticket to the MAAC Championship round. And oh boy, this is going to be a fun one.
And I mean, we had, like we mentioned earlier, like competitions like this bring together all the teams in the MAAC conference. So, I mean, sponsors like Hercules Tires, Tropicana, Ready Nutrition, and Geico bringing these matchups. And to be honest, the way Fairfield's playing, I think they're looking for sponsorships. I think they're trying to get some ad money through that, because they were going for flashy plays. They were going for a lot of speed, and it was just brutally efficient offense. And I love to see it. So we're going to be able to potentially sit down with one of those players and see really how they think through those matchups, because I'm very curious to pick their brain. Going into this final game with Marist, it's quite the performance to warm yourself up for that game.
Fairfield 3-0 Niagara, and we will be right back with that interview and the championship round after the break. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the EGF MAAC tournament. We are here on the line with Fairfield's Soccer Scout after they defeated Niagara in the semifinals 3-0. Soccer Scout, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on the interview. Yeah.
And so you guys took a pretty dominant series there as you guys were really putting in goals. One thing that I noticed is even when it seemed like you had the game won, it was 3-0, 4-0 in the final minute. Even in the final 30 seconds, you guys kept going